Yeah, I don't know what was up with that, y'all. My bad. But yeah, let's make a save just in case, cause I don't know what happened with that. But yeah, we'll make a save there too. Oh, I was like, yeah, cause I was like, what happened to the first save then? It's like shit. They say, you're always such a worry. I'm fine. Come on in. He opened his mouth as wide as he could and moaned, trying to ease the pain as he let his important guest inside. As he turned his back on his guest, he told himself that it had been a long time since he'd seen them. Or maybe not. It could have been more than 2 months since they last met. It only felt long because he'd wanted to see them so badly.
そうだ。せっかく来てもらったのにすまん。生放送中なんだよ。
While he was out there, he decided he would cut some cheese for himself and his guests. Oh, don't worry about us.
いや、お前ら相手に。
That's what I'm saying, like... Or are they just not talking?
そういうわけにもいかないだろう。ん?
Yeah, they're just not talking.
なんでもない。
Okay. He said, "What's wrong?" And then he said what he said. Yeah, because I was like, yo, why do I feel like they should be talking, but they're not? Because you see how like he started talking and they showed his name and all that. But anyway, the blade wasn't cutting into the cheese. That's strange, he told himself as he pushed down with more force. See, he about to fuck himself up. He cut into the surface and it made an unpleasant sound he'd never heard before, but no matter how hard he pushed, it won't go further. This nigga's cutting his finger. Confused, he yanked the knife back and forth like a saw, but only cut in slightly. Yeah, this nigga's cutting his finger as if it was hard inside the cheese. Bro, you're cutting your finger. And even though he'd only just taken it out of the fridge, it was slightly warm.
くそ、なんだよこれ。
Irritated, he slammed the handle of the knife against the cheese. Bro. But all it did was bash in it a little. He couldn't cut through it. This nigga is cutting his finger.
ふざけんなよ。
I'll help you. His guests must have heard the sound because they rushed over. They had another knife. When did they get that out? There's a trick to cutting this thing. They put the knife against the cheese and began to move it with a practiced hand. I was pretty sure that was his actual finger, God. It sounds like your work is going well. They smiled at Tiny, their voices slightly low. Oh, their voices slightly low. Tiny realized that they were trying to keep their voices from being picked up by the streaming microphone and lowered their voices as well. He grinned and nodded. His guests had introduced him to a firm that handled advertising space for popular websites, which had been giving him regular work. His reputation had quickly spread throughout the web advertising industry, and soon he was getting more and more offers.
流行を予想することが肝なこの仕事は天職だよ。出来レースみたいなもんだ。
Then why do these streams?
一言では言いづらいな。強いて言えば、自分がどこまでいけるか試したい、みたいな感じなんだけど。
That's right. His power wasn't meant to be wasted on jobs that anyone could do.
誰も経験したことないから、誰かに聞くってわけにいかないだろ。だから自分でやれるだけやってみたいっつうか、ってかっこよすぎか、これは。
No, I could relate to him. It's like, no, it's wonderful. I think, and done. After he smacked it a few times, the cheese was a little funny looking, but the slices were lined up neatly on the plate. I thought he was really cutting his finger, God.
悪いな、働かせて。
Yeah, but now I can relate to him in that sense because it's like I edit all my stuff. Like even a lot of my designs, like I do myself. Like I just like literally like a few months back, I just started actually looking into like other YouTubers and other just like internet personalities that do like graphic design and shit. Like I just started looking into them, and so far we got like a few designs done. Oh, thanks, Unqualified. Happy Thanksgiving, broski. Shout out to Unqualified player. That's the bro. Happy Thanksgiving, man. I'm sorry to make you help like that. Oh, that was him saying that. Yeah, shout out to you, bro, and happy Thanksgiving. There's nothing going. I'll wait till your stream is finished.
冷蔵庫の中、適当に見繕ってくれていいから。ああ、静かにな。
I already know, bro. I'm waiting for this food to be done. I'm about to eat out, God. I'm about to spaz on the food. Like, yeah. Let's say, and I already blazed one, so you know I'm hungry. Tiny took his cheese back to his seat and saw a flood of comments reading. He's late. Did he log off? What should have been only 3 minutes had turned into more than 15. Tiny put a bite of the cheese in his mouth and began to chew loudly.
申し訳ない。この安売りセールしていたチーズがありえないくらい硬くて。
He apologized to the camera, remembering to keep up the act of being poor and starving. Yo, this nigga really on some bullshit for that. Yo, he really hustling people. He really hustling people on YouTube, basically. But this just proves to y'all, it's like you gotta be careful who you make your idols, and you gotta remember at the end of the day we're all equal. So it's okay to look up to someone to a point, but you gotta understand they're human at the end of the day. So they make mistakes. Sometimes forgivable, sometimes not forgivable. But anyway. And as he hoped, the comments started to come in. W. Here we go. I was trying to figure that out. Nest slang. A Japanese counterpart of the English LOL, short for wari, which means laughter. What? Yo, my Japanese folks, tell me if that is true. Yo, that is dope. Yo, that's a better way. That's better than LOL, guy. I'm not gonna front. Most people would be like, yo, you can just put a W. Like, why am I even putting LOLs then? Watch how quick I'm gonna start throwing W's up, yo. These niggas gonna be thinking I'm from the West or some shit. It's said to find its origin in a certain non-Japanese online game which only allowed for the use of English alphabet. By putting W's in the middle or at the end of a phrase, a user can indicate that they are laughing. Often used on @chan. Okay, so blah blah blah. Often used to indicate mocking or derisive laughter. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I don't know what the word derisive means. Mashiro believes a person's use of W is a sign that they are of low intelligence, and he refuses to use it himself. We don't give a fuck what he say. Fuck Mashiro or whatever. Otani's face took on a confused expression. The comments were strange. He thought there might be something on the camera, but he turned around and saw only his fake poor room.
He
spoke into the camera, but the comments still didn't make sense, and they were coming in faster. Maybe there was a problem with the camera. He reached his hand out towards it. In an instant, his headache was back. It's the same pain as before, now worse. I said now, no, worse. He closed his eyes and jerked forward, banging his head against the desk. But the pain in his head was so bad, he didn't even feel it. He tried to hold his head in his hands, but for some reason, his right hand wouldn't move. Oh shit, this nigga, oh. So instead, he pushed his other hand up against his temple. It felt squishy. The vein was incredibly swollen, and it felt like rubber. And each time he felt his blood pulse through it, there was an unpleasant sensation in his fingers. He stamped his feet against the floor, hoping to find some small escape from the pain. But it didn't even get slightly better. It was then he realized he was crying. He could feel the tears coming from his eyes. The pain was moving there now, too. They spaced out that too, so I didn't see it. Unable to bear it, he opened his eyes. He gasped. The whole scene appeared in front of him like some kind of magic trick. Or some kind of awful magic trick. He suddenly heard the sound of something wet dripping onto the floor. His eyes reflectively turned towards it. His right arm was gone at the elbow, and the stump was gushing blood. Wait, what? There was a pool of it on the floor, and the sound he heard was new blood splattering into it. When this nigga lose his arm?
Huh?
Wait, when he lose his arm? The fuck? Otani didn't understand what happened to him. What was going on? He just gone to check on a knock at the door. I wonder who had to write all this stuff that's flying like across the board. Pain screamed within him. Any sense of pain in that, in what remained of his right arm, was overcome by the pain in his head. He felt nothing from his arm at all, though he saw the blood dripping on the floor. What the hell was going on? He blinked and forced his aching eyes to function as he looked around the room. I told you guys, that wasn't a block of cheese he was cutting. On top of the desk, he found the rest of his arm. I told you, nigga, I told y'all. What'd I tell you? I was like, wait a minute, he cutting his hand. No, my nigga was cutting his whole arm off. Oh, God. It was sitting on the plate. At first it looked like it was still in one piece, but it wasn't. It was neatly sliced into uniform pieces. Each piece was about a centimeter wide, and the slice moved nearly towards his hands, or towards his fingers. On the plate, roughly, his arm. Miraculously, he saw there was no blood on the tip of his finger. He still didn't understand that it was really his. But sheer disgust at what caused him to leap out of his chair. What was this? What was this? The contents of his stomach flooded into his mouth as he vomited. Yeah, he just realized he ate himself, God. The pink fluid splashed against the desk. He saw something solid in the middle of it. What'd he see, God? What'd he see? It was a thumb. And it was covered in bite marks and saliva and stomach acid, but horribly he remembered it. What? What? When had he put that into his mouth? In his pain-filled mind, he suddenly heard a sound he'd never heard before. Each time he heard the sound, the pain in his head got worse. He turned towards the camera, hoping for an answer to see what was happening. But of course, there was none of that to be found. The screen was still filming with comments, but his eyes were too filled with tears for him to read them. As the whole world turned red, Tiny didn't even silently headed for the door. Just before they left the room. Goodbye. Motherfucker. They said it as if nothing at all was wrong. And shut the door. Yep. He said, I'm bored, I'm going to the usual stream. Really, God? September 19th, 2015, Friday night. It was Friday night. I dodged my raid. Mamone Takanagi had finished her concert. Like always, she stayed behind to help put away the instruments. She even helped clean up the audience, even though that was the concert hall's job. Really, God, they really do not want me to be doing this. What is up with the stream?